Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode here on European Confessions. The following story that you're going to be listening to, it comes from a translation of a message that I received, and the translation of that message, it reads like this. Hello, how are you? I want to confess, and I have something that I have been hiding in my heart. My life, it was ruined because I loved money a lot. My greed for money is what ruined my life. I don't know how I can escape. I am a man that comes from Zim. I came to South Africa and then I started working. It was in the year 2015. That was when my life really got so bad and it took a dark turn. At that time, I never knew that the thing that I wanted to do, it was going to cause a lot of misfortunes in my life. In 2015, I was working in Midrand. I was working for this other particular man who was a Nigerian businessman. We never knew what kind of a business he was doing, but he was always busy at all the times. This man, he had so much money, unimaginable wealth, and in his house, there will be money that will be lying everywhere. He used to keep his money in bags and he never went to the bank with the money that he had. This man, he was so rich. He had multiple cars, he had multiple houses, and endless money. As for me, whenever I would see his money, I would feel like I wanted more. I was just an ordinary man, a poor garden boy, because I was working for him as a gardener. And I kept on watching my boss, the way that he was living his life. And then that was when greed entered into my heart. When I was looking at the type of a lifestyle that he had, I started to have this dark desire for his money. I wanted to be him. I wanted to be a boss. I wanted to live like my boss. I wanted to be like him. I wanted to be rich. But I did not know that all of this money that he had, it came from the underworld. If I had known, I was never going to steal money from him. So I stole money that I did not even understand where it came from. The day that I stole his money, that was the day that changed my life forever. It happened whilst I was still there in Midrand. My boss, like always, he had left a huge amount of money in his office because at his home, he had an office. I had seen his safe too many times, and the money was always packed in bundles of rands as well as US dollars. It was an opportunity of a lifetime. I had never seen so much money in my life. That day I entered into the office, I took the money and I ran away. I did not even think twice about it. The money was going to give me the life that I wanted. I spoke with this other guy who is a family member, and I then told him that there were some things that I wanted to send back to Zim, and then I gave him the groceries, but he did not know that he was carrying so much money with him on his truck. And I felt so rich, there was no need for me to use a bus to return back to Zim, so I bought a plane ticket and I traveled, and I got first to Zim before he came to Zim. As soon as I arrived in Zim, that was when I started to feel so sick. My body would burn up and I would have endless headaches. I would feel extremely weak. The nights were unbearable. I started having dreams of a snake that would enter into the room where I will be sleeping, and that snake would watch me throughout the night. One night I had a dream. I was sitting in a very dark room. I was surrounded by a big snake. I woke up, I was sweating a lot, and I knew that there was something that was wrong with me. With the way that I was so sick, I said, let me try to find what is wrong with me. I then went to a traditional healer in Mudzi, and I was hoping that I would get help from that man. He said to me, did you take something from South Africa? I started shaking and I refused. He looked at me again and he asked me if I had stolen anything in South Africa, and then I nodded and I said yes. The man then said, the money that you stole from that Nigerian man, it comes from his snake. You stole money that does not belong to you. The healer said, you stole money that belongs to your boss. Your boss's snake is the one that produces that money. That snake, I can hear it. It is calling out your name. It is saying, bring back my money. Bring back my money. The snake is calling out for you. I asked what could be done. He said, you cannot get rid of this money because there is no way you can take it to. You only have 7 days. This is what the snake is saying. He only has 7 days to leave. There is only one thing that can save you. The healer then told me that there was a sacrifice that was supposed to be made. And he looked at me and he said, your brother's son. I had my brother who was in South Africa, and I looked down and was scared because I did not want to die. 7 days the snake had given me to live, unless if I make another sacrifice. A few days later, my brother's son started to get sick. His health worsened until he passed away. I knew what had happened. I knew what I had done, but at least I had survived. A life for a life. That was what the snake wanted. After I had survived, the healer gave me my own snake, and he said, here, take this. This was the snake that was going to make me rich. I started making money. I built houses. I bought cars. But now I am a servant. I am a prisoner of the devil. There is nothing that I can do without consulting with the devil first. The snake, it started sleeping with my friends. It does not matter if it is a woman or if it is a man. It sleeps with you irregardless. The snake, it wants to be fed. The snake, it needs a wife. Sometimes it sleeps with me. Now the problem is that the whole family, the entire generation, there is no one who is married anymore. All of my brothers, they have gotten divorced to their wives because this snake, it becomes their spiritual wives. And they cannot live with their wives anymore because there will be another person, the spiritual wife. And then as for my sisters as well, they are always complaining and they started behaving strangely. They also have these dreams of sleeping with invisible beings, and they have been returned back home by all of their husbands. My elder brother does not even know how I became rich. And now that is the situation that I am facing. My snake told me that if I try even to go to any place where they can assist me, I can even get sick and die. I can't even enter a church. I can't sleep at night. I have money, but to tell you the truth, I do not have happiness. I have no peace, for I am a servant of the devil. I am like a slave to the devil. I want to leave, but I cannot leave. It pains me a lot because of the situation that I am facing right now in my life. Brother Nash, if you post my story, I don't know how I am going to be helped by your listeners, but that is the truth of the matter. There is no peace anymore in my life. And even if I want to go and find peace in church, I was told that I should never do such a thing in my life unless if I want to die. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our brother. That was the translation of the message that was sent to me. Strange things indeed they do happen in this world.